Today I'm going to show you how to play the tile matching game called Ghoul. I love this game so much, I'm sure you will too, so let's get into it. We'll start with the object of the game. We'll talk about how to start the game, how to get it set up, talk about what to do on your turn, how to place tiles, how to score, and how the game ends. Object of the game. The object of the game is to create rows of matching tiles on the table and score more points than everyone else. There are two ways to match tiles when you're putting them on the table. One is to have the same symbol, but all the colors have to be different. The second way is to have the same color, but all the symbols have to be different. They're the two ways that you can match tiles and put them on the table. How to get started. First of all, we shuffle the deck. That's what I call the face side. We put them face side up, that's the symbol side down. Now, we also need pencil and paper to score, very important. The next thing we need to do is deal 5 tiles to everyone at the table, and all of those tiles have to be symbol side up. So during the game, you can see what everyone else is holding. You can strategize a little bit, trying to guess what they might do. Now, who starts the game? The person that starts the game is the one that has the longest sequence of tiles. On the screen here, the person at the top has a good run of 3 tiles, whereas his opponent has 2 runs of 2 tiles. The player at the top of the screen goes first and places those 3 tiles down. Now, if it's a tie, the youngest player starts the game. Sorry, old people. Then from there, the play goes clockwise around the table. Okay, let's look at what you do on your turn. So generally speaking, there's 3 things. Number 1, you place some tiles. Number 2, you record your score. And number 3, you replenish your hand. So at the end of your turn, you should have 5 tiles again. Now generally speaking, they're the 3 things that you'll do on your turn. But in some rare cases, you'll find you can't place any tiles on the table. In that situation, you discard tiles. Now to discard tiles, you can choose how many. It can be 1, it could be 3, it could be 5. You take those tiles that you want to discard, you put them on the bottom of the deck, and then you take the same number of tiles from the top of the deck, and you put that back into your hand. Just be careful though, because if you discard tiles, that's your turn. You don't get to place any tiles on the table, and you don't score any points. Placing tiles. First of all, there can never be a row or a column. There can never be a sequence longer than 5 tiles on the table. The other important rule that you need to know is that when you add tiles to the table, they have to be added to the existing tiles on the table. So the only time that doesn't apply is obviously when the first player starts the game and puts their tiles in the middle of the table. Every subsequent turn after that, the tiles have to add to the tiles that are already there. Now remember, there are 2 ways to match tiles to place onto the table on your turn. The first way, you can have all the same symbol, but the colors of each tile has to be different. Or number 2, you can have all the same color, but the symbols have to all be different. They're the 2 valid ways of matching tiles together. Now for the all-important scoring. So 1 point per tile in your sequence, but a tile can get more than 1 point if it's part of multiple sequences on the table. If you increase other lines, other rows of tiles on the table, you get points for that too. So what does that look like? Here, the first player has their turn and gets 2 points for their 2 tiles. 1, 2. Then the second player adds 2 tiles and they get 5 points. They get 2 points for the sequence that they've made, but because they've increased an existing sequence on the table, they get points for that entire sequence as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you have to be careful with that rule because you only get those extra points if you increase somebody's line on the table. Here we see player 2 adds their tiles to either side of an existing line, but they haven't increased the line, so they only get 3 points. 1, 2, 3. So be careful of that difference. Let's look at how we can really maximize our points. So here I'll add an orange tile and I would get 2 points, 1, 2. But if I was to add a sequence of 3 tiles here, I'd get 7 points. I've created this line, I've added to that one, and I've added to this one as well. That's a total of 7 points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's talk about bonus points. There's a few different ways to get bonus points during the game, but the best by far is Ghoul. When you create a sequence of 5 tiles on the table, you yell out Ghoul, and you score a minimum of 10 points. 5 points for the sequence, 5 bonus points, plus, as per any usual turn, if you increase any other lines that are already on the table, you get the points for that as well. The Ghoul bonus is what every player is chasing when they're playing the game, and it's a great way to get ahead and give yourself an advantage. The second bonus is the yellow tile bonus. At any point during the game, if you pull that one yellow tile from the deck, you get an instant 5 bonus points. You record that on your score sheet, then you play as you would normally. Even if you pull that tile when you're being dealt tiles at the beginning of the game, you record that as a 5-point bonus, set the tile aside, and you continue play as normal. The third bonus is the mini point bonus. And if you look at your tile, around the main symbol, there's mini symbols. Now, to get the mini symbol bonus, the symbols don't have to match, just as long as they're the same color, you have 3 of them, and they're in a row, you'll get the mini symbol bonus for 1 point. And finally, ending the game. So when there's no more tiles left in the deck, you continue play as normal, but you don't replenish your hand. Now, the player that gets rid of all of their tiles first gets 5 bonus points, and then the game immediately ends. You tally up all of the points, and the player with the high score wins. And that's it. Now you know how to play Ghoul. Go and have some fun.